We play.
We fight.
We conquer.
Welcome to the Freak Show, where our one rule is, it's all just a simulation. I am your host, Bumpy McSquigums, and today I get to actually dive in and do something that I have wanted to do for years and kind of forgot about, lost. I don't know. It's a big mess, but either way, I finally get that opportunity. Crying Suns. We get to dive in. We get to play some Crying Suns from Alt, Shift, and Humble Games. It originally released on September 19th, 2019. And they just released the Last Orders update, which is the final update for the game, on May 17th, 2023, adding a whole bunch of new stuff. So I've not actually played this at all yet. I'm going to be diving in totally blind. I just knew that I saw this back in the day when it was releasing, and I'm not sure if I just missed the window or exactly what happened. But either way, yeah, I fell off of my list essentially, and I was like, oh, like it kept getting like moved down or whatever the case was, and then I just ended up losing the list probably along the same time as when my PC decided to go. Anyhow, long story short, or short story long as it were, I reached out to them. They were kind enough to send a code my way, which is incredible, and it's above and beyond what most developers do, so I greatly appreciate that, because generally it's, generating buzz and content creation and, getting the word out there and letting people see the game usually around the time of your release. So it was really, really cool of them to say, hey, yeah, no problem, here, check it out. And yeah, it's greatly appreciated. So thank you very much to Alt Shift for hooking me up with the code for this, and let's dive in and begin. Hopefully this is not incredibly complicated, because I have a horrible headache today, but I can't wait to play this, and I'm not going to wait. So let's get into it. Yummy. Where am I? His name is Ellie's Idaho. Oh, see, brilliance right here. You can see in the very first few seconds of the game, we got dialogue, we got writing, we read the writing, we don't have to auto advance and try to keep up with the reading. We get to manually advance it. Oh, it's so glorious. It's Caliban, a dwarf planet on the outer rim. Let's call it Gehenna, if they call it anything at all. This Admiral is a top-secret cloning facility for the Imperial Forces, the one and only of its kind. I am Caliban, its Omni Guardian. I don't understand. You have died, Admiral, or, to put it another way, the true version of you has died. You are his clone, identical to the original Ellis, Idaho, in every possible way, with some minor differences. When did Admiral Idaho die? How? Unfortunately, I do not know the details of my clones' lives, as interesting as they must be. Extraneous to my directives, I believe. Which leads me to why I've awoken you. You must be curious, after all. I need your help. A machine asking for my help. How I truly feel strange. Not just a machine, Admiral. An Omni. Short for Omni Mechanical Neo N Intelligence. Sure? Yeah? Imperial Oberon invented us. Sorry, Emperor. Emperor Ovaltine invented us. No, Emperor Oberon invented us. Now your kind relies on us for just about everything. I'll come right out with it. I believe the Empire is in danger. In danger? What in the name of Oberon are you talking about? Once every 40 years, under the most secretive of protocols, I receive a single transmission from, we'll say Elysium? I think it's spelled differently than normal, but maybe I'm wrong. It's just a different font. From Elysium, our capital. Those transmissions stopped arriving. So you send a transmission yourself? I don't really see the problem. That's just it. I can't. This facility was built in such a way to prevent it from initializing contact with the Empire, to help keep it a secret. Something is wrong, I am certain of it. And I have awoken you so that we can fly out of here, in an Omega-class battleship no less, and see for ourselves. We? I believe you'll find my intelligence indispensable for our mission, Admiral. I don't have your kind's limitations. Well, if you're so smart, what do you need me for? Why don't you command the battleship? Because of Oberon's Rubicon. It prohibits Omnis from commanding battleships. War is a human prerogative. Also, since I can assume the clones are here, the clones here are the best of the best, that would make you the best Imperial Admiral to ever exist. So I'd say you're pretty much perfect for the job. I'll do it, machine. For Oberon and the Empire. It's my duty as an Imperial Admiral, after all. Excellent. Now, just one more thing. Standard operating procedure requires I ask, can you recall any of your emotional memories? Emotional memories? Any memory linked to a strong emotion like love or hate. These memories, because of their complex neural pathways, will be a bit trickier for you to access, I'm afraid. I'm not sure. Then if you would do me the honor of trying to recall one, any emotional memory will do. I can't. So much is blurred, broken apart. Don't worry, Admiral. Perfectly normal for this stage. You'll find rational memories, on the other hand, those linked to Ido's training and combat experience, almost immediately accessible. Just ask if you need a refresher. Lastly, and this is important, if these emotional memories return, rather, when they return, you must tell me immediately. It's important for your safety. Yes, your safety. Do you understand? I understand. Perfect. Now, let's wake up the rest of the crew, shall we? We don't have a moment to waste, and please, Admiral. What is it now, machine? Call me Caliban. I shall call you machine. Oh my goodness, there's so much on my screen right now. What am I looking at here? The Gehenna Battleship Omega Crafter Interface. The Excelsior class. Excellent. Gehenna Tech. I mean, I don't have a choice yet. Alright, additional squadron docks. Squadron system support. You have 2 officers left to select. I do? Okay, I don't know how to do that yet, but we'll figure it out. Additional weapon docks, so weapon support system, additional hull, subsystems. Okay. Officers are down here. I choose them there. Okay. So we have squadrons. We have possibly a fighter, a frigate, a drone, and another drone. This one's patched, so it's not fully healed. Piercer laser. Okay. Alright, let's choose the officers. And we're going to stay on normal difficulty. Increase resource rewards. These are your enemies. Normal resource and enemies. Low resource and harder enemies. Got it. Alright, we have somebody I am not going to be able to pronounce, and I apologize, but I'll give it a shot. Xiaoyan. Yep, totally flawless. Gomez. It's a weird juxtaposition of names. May Petrova, Luis, Andreas, and Leah Caras. Alright, do they have any roles specifically? Doesn't look like it. This person's famous. Sold 3.5 times the normal price in shops. Okay. Skills are sharp senses and discretion. Don't know what that means yet. May seems to be proximity repair. Apply regen to all allied squadrons within your deploy zone for 10 seconds. Restore 2 health per second. Remove all timed negative effects when applied. And then we have erudition and engineering. Again, not sure what they mean. Thruster boost. Squadron speed is increased by 25%. And weapon reload time. And we can pick 2. Oh, I think I'm going to go with May. And I'm debating which of these two. I think I'm probably going to go with Leah. I don't want to change battleship. Do I? I don't think I have a choice, right? No? Okay. Oh, we go up here and we start. Okay. Well, we got our peeps. Let's do it. Get ourselves into things here. Chapter 1, Sector 1-3, or 1 out of 3. These are the sectors of the Outer Rim, Admiral. The farthest sectors from the capital that there are. If there was ever a wasteland in the Empire, this would be it. Oh, he's red now. Oh, interesting. Strange, I'm not picking up other Omnis. Even out here, I should be picking up dozens of them. Let's try not to overreact, machine. It's probably nothing. The Empire has run flawlessly for how many years now? 700. And it will do so for hundreds more. Now, come on, let's take a look around. Okay, neon fuel, scrap, commandos. Okay, gotcha. I suppose we're going to be heading here. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh no. What do we have here, Lieutenant? It appears to be some kind of cube-like refinery, sir, says Lieutenant Hawks. It's a Neo-N hypercube. Omni-tech for the simultaneous harvesting and refining of neutrinium from nearby stars. Neutrinium from nearby stars. Interesting. If not downright bizarre, this cube isn't connected to the fold net. How could that be? And why aren't there hypercube omnis trying to reconnect it as I speak? For explanations, your memory is still blurry. Send a small team. How an explanation? Give me. Certain things are still blurry to me, machine. What do you want to know, Admiral? Well, I want to know about the Neo-N. Tell me about Neo-N. Hundreds of years ago, pre-Omni times, the first advanced machines discovered the existence of the final element, neutrinium, which exists usually, but not always, in stars. Neutrinium is extremely volatile in its natural state, but these advanced machines stabilized and improved upon it, providing the most powerful and longest-lasting energy source yet. Neutrinium, or Neo-N. Sure. Neo-N, in turn, allowed these first machines to create an even more advanced machine, the Omni, an acronym for Omni Mechanical Neo-N Intelligence. I thought you told me Oberon invented the Omnis. I did, you're absolutely right, but technically it's not entirely true. What? Oberon invented the first advanced machines, which in turn, thanks in part to their creation of Neo-N, invented the Omnis. Neo-N, in its refined state, is the perfect energy source, stable and almost boundless in its energy yield. As a result, it's used in just about all Omni tech. as humans stopped inventing tech hundreds of years ago. I don't think I should trust this guy, I'm just saying. Lastly, what's important about Neo-N is that our very own battleship, the NS Odysseus, uses it, and without it, we can't go anywhere. What do you want to know? What about this FoldNet? Tell me more about the FoldNet. Well, as you probably recall by now, Admiral, the Omnis have invented and managed Imperial tech more or less since the dawn of the Empire. The FoldNet, arguably our greatest achievement, forms the backbone of the Empire. Think of it as a global galactic network allowing instant data and or matter transmissions through its numerous interconnected folders and beacons. And without the constant vigilance and management of the FoldNet Omnis, none of it would be possible and humanity would live in a fragmented, chaotic darkness. Needless to say, it's important. So, the internet. Got it. What do you want to know? I know it's not the internet. What do you want to know, Admiral? Folders, sure. Let me see if I can explain this to you in a way that you could possibly understand. Appreciate you. In the early days of the Empire, at a speed of 100 times that of light speed, the Interstice? Sure. Offered the fastest space travel available. It was fast, don't get me wrong, but traveling from cluster to cluster could still take decades. To assist Empire administration, and just because we could, the Omnis invented a means to travel from 2 points in space instantaneously. The folders. Yes, each folder, several kilometers across, is linked to or paired with another folder through a process of, this is going to be really difficult to explain to a non-quantum computing entity. Essentially, all you need to know is that these paired folders collapse or fold space for a very brief amount of time so as to join 2 points in space previously unjoined. Black hole. Got it. Without the folders, Oberon could never have grown his empire nor kept it together for the 700 years that he has. Each folder is run by an Omni. These Omnis are cleverly known as folder Omnis. Yep, cleverly. Without them, the folders simply cannot work. Lastly, in order to reach Elysium, the Empire's capital, on our journey, we will have to use several folders. Why can't we just teleport to Elysium directly? We are deep in the Outer Rim. The few folders paired with Elysium will be found only in very important hubs. We'll need to reach those first. What do you want to know? And what about the beacons? There's a lot of info here. There's way more than I thought we were gonna. I thought we were just gonna be like thrown right into the action. I actually like a lot of this like backstory and explanation of the various things that are working. This is cool. What can you tell me about FoldNet beacons? Well, the beacons which we'll most likely encounter on our journey function as repeaters, amplifying all FoldNet data transmissions throughout the clusters. Beacons allow all Empire citizens, even if they live out here on the Outer Rim, and are, for all intents and purposes, socially and culturally irrelevant, nice, to receive and send information in the galaxy instantly. Sorry about that, folks. Oberon believes that everyone has the right to instantaneous information and materials in his sectors. Quite debatable, if you ask me. What do you want to know? I want to know about the Interstice, that thing. It's another Omni-invented tech, one of the first great inventions, and one developed long before the folders. With their interstitial tech, the Omnis created an empty space dimension between the ones you know, what we call a tunnel, where the universal light speed behaves, let's say, differently. In an interstitial tunnel, it's possible to reach up to 100 times the speed of light, a speed that allowed your kind to colonize the nearest stars. However, interstitial travel, it's getting worse every time I say it, sorry, still has its limitations. For example, at this speed, it would take you 750 years to travel from one end of the Empire to the other, a period of time greater than the age of the Empire itself, hence the need for folders. However, the interstice is sufficient when traveling intra-cluster and within that cluster's sectors. Well, do you want to know? Okay, I got it. So that's like the short jumps between different things. Then when we travel to a new system, we use the folders. All right, I got it. It's enough for now, Makeen. What do you want to do? All right, let's send the investigation team. Captain Lynch, form a small squadron, fly around the cube, and tell me what you see. On it, sir. Roger, roger. Sir, the Omni was right. The cube isn't connected to the fold net, and by the looks of it, hasn't been connected in years. Just a guess here, but I'd say it looks like it's been disconnected for maybe 10, 15 years? 10 or 15 years. At least, sir. Could the Empire have, I don't know, disconnected it on purpose? I don't think so, Admiral. I'm not a cube Omni myself, but cubes are complex text needing constant supervision. Disconnecting it would make that all but impossible. And the Neo N levels? Empty, sir. There's no Neo N here whatsoever. It looks like whoever came before us took all of it. We won't be fueling here. The reserves might be empty, but there still could be some residual Neo N coursing through the cube. I should be able to unlock this final restraint so that we can scavenge the leftovers. It won't be much, but it will help our efforts. Yeah, we should be able to scavenge the Neo N fuel here now, but that'll be the last of it in this cube. All suns have Neo N cubes where you have a chance to scavenge some precious leftover fuel. Okay. Okay. Cool. Alright, I guess we're going to the local system map now. And we're here, and now we can move out. Why is it got a lock on it? Like, we are here, right? Okay. Well, I guess we're going to Elegia or Elegia or something. Australis IP 392 is our next place to hang out. Oh my goodness. Sir, battleship 12 o'clock. Oh no. Kind of battleship, Lieutenant? Couldn't say, sir. I've never seen a ship like this in all my service. Incoming transmission. An Imperial battleship made from Telos tech. My mouth is watering. This is Admiral Idaho of the Imperial Fleet. Stand down, Captain. This is an Imperial sector you find yourself in. Imperial sector? That's funny, imp. The battle is imminent. Good luck, Admiral. Oh no. We're about to get got, aren't we? Oh, check it out. You can deploy your officers during fights. Some officers have special abilities that can boost specific systems. All officers can also repair critical effects sustained by any system. There are 3 systems, squadron, weapon, and hull, so be careful where you deploy your officers. Oh, okay. I like to see tactical pause there. Squadrons are essential to protect your battleship and destroy the enemy. To deploy your squadrons, click on the plus sign to an empty dock. For your second dock, for now your second dock will be loaded or locked until you have learned the basics. Okay. Use your weapons to gain decisive advantage on the battlefield. Weapons can be deployed by clicking the plus sign on an empty dock. Your neurocom, sure, can also accelerate your thoughts to a point where time appears totally still. Yeah, it can. Spacebar, got it. Okay. So, I probably want to do a thing. Okay, so that's that. This is to put an officer there. And then, yeah. Alright, so weapons, what do we have here? We have the piercer laser. And squadrons, I guess we'll start with maybe we go with the frigate first? We'll see how that all plays out. Okay, we have our weapon. I don't know how to use our weapon, but we have it. Our frigates have just been birthed. Those are drones. Okay, so that's happening. It's going fine, but honestly not as well as I would hope. Your weapon has finished charging, is ready to fire. Click on it and choose a target on the battlefield to deal damage to your enemies. Can I damage him? I can. Right-clicking on a squadron dock undeploys the associated unit will free it for another squadron to be deployed. Once back in the hangar, the squadrons will slowly be repaired over time. Okay, so he's heading back. Interesting. Okay. Now we send the fighter out. Left click. The weapon is ready to fire. Go ahead and try to hit the ship over there. Some more damage to the hull. And we're taking a quick victory. All right, cool. Good job, Admiral. Here's a summary of the battle. We got 64 scrap. Cool, cool, cool. What was that thing? I don't know, Lieutenant. And I'm not sure I want to either. Cool. So, yeah, that was a sweet, sweet victory for us, huh? Look at that. I guess we leave that alone. Oh, what is this? Squadron repair time while in hangar. Oh, I could have used. Okay, okay, that's fine. What I don't. What is patched? Looks like we can't. All right, so I could just probably launch this to start with. Like have one in. Okay, I see. A little rock paper scissors here, type thing. So the frigates whoop up on fighters, the fighters whoop up on drones, and the drones whoop up on frigates. So I actually had the massive disadvantage in the last fight. That makes sense. Okay, I got you. Local system. Let's go to the station here. Imperial Outpost, sir. It seems abandoned. Any heat signatures? Not a single one. Seems empty of all human life. What about an omnipresence? They should be here managing the station, no? Well, they should, and no, I'm not detecting any. This is getting stranger and stranger. Yeah, ask him about the outpost. What can you tell me about it? It seems to be just your everyday run-of-the-mill Imperial outpost, Admiral. There are outposts in all Imperial sectors. The capital, Elysium, so far away, they help keep the peace and maintain order. You must show your military might so that you don't have to use it, I believe, is the whole thought process there. But there's definitely no military might here. What do you want to do about this? All right, well, let's make contact. Try to make contact, I should say. Lieutenant, see if you can make contact with someone, human or not, inside. Of course, Admiral. Sorry, sir, if there's anyone inside, they're not answering. What do you want to do about it? Well, send a team of commandos. Captain Lean, form a small team and check it out. Got it, sir. Sir, the outpost is empty. Seems it was abandoned years ago. If I had to guess, probably around the time the hypercube back there was disconnected from the fold net. It's like someone came here, took the most valuable Omni parts, Neo encapsulators, positronic chips, and left the rest behind. Scavenging Omni parts? Who would do such a thing? That's a capital offense. One the Pragma executes you for. Hold on, sir. I'm getting a transmission. My commandos have found something. An Omni, intact from top to bottom. Is it functional? That's a negative, sir. It was in a lower level. Guess whoever was here before us didn't go down that far. Might have needed high clearance to get in. Admiral, I can examine it from here if the captain plugs the data pad into the exosoc. Sure thing, Omni. Okay, accessing the Omni's mainframe. And strange, its exoframe is perfectly intact. It has plenty of Neo-N, and its positronic chip seems to be in place. It should be up and running. I don't get it. Any idea when it shut down? According to its chip, 20 years ago, or chip. Probably the time the hypercube was unlinked from the foldnet. What do you want to do about this outpost, Admiral? Is there anything else I can glean from you? Can Caliban reactivate the Omni? Can you reactivate the Omni? Unfortunately, no. Only Omni owners can do that. Besides, this Omni isn't just in sleep mode. It's been shut down. Okay. What about this positronic chip? This chip, I know. The positronic chip? Another Omni invention, I'm guessing? Actually, no, you're kind of invented this, as incredible as that is. Specifically, Emperor Oberon. The positronic chip serves several purposes. 1, it contains the Rubicon, and 2, it dictates Omni functionality. My functions are specific to Gehenna, and as such, are different from the functions of the other Omnis. Whether they be Imperial Outpost Omnis like the Omni here, Folder Omnis, Cube Omnis, Medical Omnis, Teacher Omnis, or the hundreds of other kinds of Omnis that exist in the Empire. Lastly, the positronic chip gives Omni quantum computing capabilities. It's what allows us to be so much smarter than you. Positronic chips are produced and distributed near Elysium. Of course, that's by design so that Oberon can closely monitor the positronic quota. Simply put, without a positronic chip, an Omni is little more than an exoframe. What's the Rubicon? Tell me more about the Rubicon, or the Rubicon, as it were. The Rubicon is a set of rules enforced at a very low level, ensuring that, that Omnis don't harm humans and don't deviate from their missions. Suppose an Omni disobeyed its Rubicon, what would happen then? Sorry again, folks. But if that happens, then the chip will deactivate and trigger a self-termination feature in the Omni. Oh. Omni suicide. It's just a feature, Admiral. A rarely activated feature. And we already know about that. We don't know about the quota, though. Quota? Yes, so as to maintain perpetual harmony in the Empire, Oberon created a quota depending on your house. And whether it's minor or major, you received a certain number of chips every 10 years. Who received the most chips? House Telos, of course, Oberon's house, our house. And the fewest? One of the minor houses, Vicarelli, I guess. They have a pitiful quota, embarrassing, really. I'd hate to be Vicarelli Omni. What do you want to know? I think that's it. How many more questions? I know enough for now, machine. Could be a good time to take a break. I agree. What do you want to do about this outpost, Admiral? Let's continue on. Okay, machine, I'll admit it. Something is wrong, at least in the outer rim. I don't want to further worry you, but our battleship's heuristics are detecting an anomaly at our next destination. Oh, well, that sounds like a blast. All right, guys and gals, that's our very first episode. I know there's like a lot of storyline, a lot of details we're getting. I'm very much enjoying the world that's been crafted here, and I want to hear and see and experience more. But that's going to be a tale for another time. I also enjoyed the little bit of the gameplay I got to actually dive in and experience, and I'm looking forward to doing some more. I'm looking forward to unlocking possibly additional ships and just more crew members and such. It's gonna be a good time, I think. At least that's how I feel. I think it's gonna be pretty good. All right, folks, if you guys want more information about the game, where to get the game information on the developer, the publisher, any of that stuff down below in the description of the video. There'll be various links, just like there always are. And Until the very next episode, folks, I have been your host, Bumpy McSquigums. Thank you so much for stopping by the Freak Show. We play, we fight, we conquer.